Item number 8.
Item number 8, proclamation recognizing June as National Pet Preparedness Month. Stan Vanderwerf, Commissioner, Board of County Commissioners.
Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For those of you that are going to be participating in the National Pet Preparedness Month, could you please come down? Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the reading, and thanks for coming down. Commissioners, I'd like to nominate the proclamation recognizing June as National Pet Preparedness Month. Whereas El Paso County and the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak Region have a long-standing public-private partnership to provide for the health and safety of animals and people in our community. And whereas June is National Pet Preparedness Month, an important reminder to review your emergency plans and ensure a plan for your pets is included. Disasters can happen anytime and take many different forms. Pet owners should create a pet-friendly family emergency plan. It is essential that pet care professionals have disaster plans for their businesses in place also. And whereas the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak Region is leading the effort to build a compassionate community where animals and people are cared for and valued, and whereas the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak Region's Community Animal Response Team is designated by El Paso County as the first responder in companion animal disaster response and participates in ongoing training, drills, and certification to maintain expertise and ensure that companion animals are prepared in emergencies. And whereas the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak Region's Community Animal Response Team stands ready to provide emergency evacuation and rescue of companion animals and work to shelter animals displaced during natural disasters and other large-scale emergencies, and whereas El Paso County will continue to collaborate with the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak Region, which is recognized and trusted as a pet resource for Southern Colorado, seeking strategic partnerships and alliances to advance the welfare and protection of animals and people. Now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, hereby recognizes June as National Pet Preparedness Month and proclaims its support for the continued collaborative efforts between El Paso County and the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak Region to ensure that the welfare and protection of companion animals maintains its importance during disasters and other emergencies. Done this 27th day of June, 2019 at Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado signed Mark Waller, Chair, Lejinos Gonzalez, Jr., Vice Chair, Stan Vanderwerf, Holly Williams, and Cammie Bremer, members, and attested to by Chuck Browerman, County Clerk and Recorder. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, that's been moved and seconded. We'll open it up for some discussion. Who'd like to kick us off?
I'd love to. Thank you so much for having us today. I'm Jan McHugh-Smith. I'm the president, and CEO of the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak Region, and we do have a flash drive if somebody could help us with that. Oh, great. Thank you. So thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go. Yes, sir. Pets and disasters. It's really important that we have an opportunity to talk about why National Pet Preparedness Day is so important. I think you'll find that if you look back at Katrina, when people were being evacuated and their pets weren't being accepted, many people refused to come, which put first responders at risk, as well as the citizens and their animals. We like to start our meetings with a happy tale, and I want to introduce our happy tale today. We had a disaster in El Paso and Pueblo County. We were the first responders for the companion animals. There was the Beulah Hill Fire in Pueblo County in 2016. And we rescued the smallest evacuee ever, Cake the tortoise, as well as his kitty siblings. So Cake is on the left, that's the tortoise. It was a birthday present for 2-year-old Luther, who's the little boy, and the tortoise is a very important part of their family. So the picture on the left is when Lucas and Cake were evacuated, and then the other picture was an updated picture just sent to us recently by the mom saying, look how much Cake and Luther have grown. So thank you for evacuating our animals. Cake and Luther are both growing like crazy. We appreciate all you did for the community during your years of service. So it's a really important, we have unusual pets, obviously, that come out of disasters, not just dogs and cats. But to have our pets reunited after a disaster like that is really healthy for the family, and it keeps those animals together with their people. So June is National Pet Preparedness Month, and our HSPPR Community Animal Response Team, our volunteers and staff who work throughout the year to educate people and their families on preparing themselves and their pets for disasters by creating emergency plans that include every single family member. Our Community Animal Response Team is made up of staff and volunteers who participate monthly on drills, trainings, and they get certifications through FEMA, so they're always increasing their training and expertise. In fact, HSPPR's very own Community Animal Response Team coordinator was asked to serve as the chair of the Emergency Support Function 6 desk, which supports mass care for both people and animals as a part of Colorado's Emergency Operations Center. Since Hurricane Katrina struck New Orleans in 2005, major changes have been made in state and federal law to make sure that animals are part of the emergency response plan. At that time, there were no laws, and many animals were left behind, and it really truly was a disaster for both the families, the people, and the animals. But that changed with the Stafford Law, and now as a result, federal law requires that these provisions be made for the evacuation of animals, and that they are rescued and they have a recovery, sheltering, and that they're tracked during the disaster so families can meet up with their pets post-disaster. And that's where we've come in. We're very proud to be the first responders for El Paso County and Colorado Springs. And as you recall, in El Paso County during the Waldo Canyon fire, we sheltered over 440 animals and rescued 108 out of homes. In Black Forest, we were able to shelter 1,200 animals, and that was a really different fire. The first fire was mostly companion pets. The Black Forest fire was a lot of livestock. So you can see the pig there. We took pigs, llamas, donkeys, all kinds of animals, 500 chickens. So they rescued over 672 animals off of people's property when people were unable to get back in. And I want to introduce our Director of Animal Law Enforcement, Jamie Norris, and she's going to tell you a little bit about last fire season.
Hello, thank you for having us today. Again, my name is Jamie Norris. I'm the Director of Animal Law Enforcement. Wanted to talk a little bit about our fire season last year. As everybody remembers, it was a very dry, hot year. Very early on in the season, we had already had 7 fires that our officers responded out to. One day alone, we had 3 fires that we responded to in 3 different counties. We had the fire in Douglas County. It was the same day of the 117 fire, and then we had another one that started up in Pueblo. So our officers were spread kind of thin, trying to respond to multiple disasters. Our officers are all trained. They receive their FEMA certifications as well. We actually work really close with the Colorado Springs Wildland Fire Team. They actually help train our officers as far as fire response and things to watch out for and how to use caution in fires. We also have officers that are trained in rope rescue and swift water rescue to assist with other disasters that they might encounter. So just kind of a wide variety of all the things that we're prepared to handle if they occur.
So thank you very much. We appreciate the proclamation, and we appreciate your support for helping the people and pets of our community. And we want, of course, introduce our guest. This is Nacho.
And would Nacho like to say anything?
You want to tell a little bit about Nacho?
So Nacho is a 10-year-old terrier who came in as a stray, and unfortunately nobody ever came to claim him. So we gave him a very handsome haircut, and he is available for adoption right now.
Housebroken.
All right, would anybody else like to comment on this proclamation? Nope, all right, seeing none, we'll bring it up here for some discussion and deliberation and then a vote. Commissioner Bremer?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you all for being here today. You know, the reason that we do resolutions and proclamations is to bring awareness of community activities, of community organizations, and really anything that will benefit our citizens at large to know about. So for that reason, I'm very glad you all were here today. Pets are members of many of our families, and at a very stressful time of evacuation or any other emergency, many times if there's not a plan in place, then it becomes another detail to worry about, another decision to make at a time when it's very difficult to make very clear decisions. So I thank you very much for the work you're doing and for bringing this today to help our citizens stay aware of being proactive and having an escape and evacuation plan that includes their pets ahead of time.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I too just wanted to thank you for all the great work that you do. I do remember a couple of the fires last year down south where you were also very important, all the support and help you provided for the residents down there. And so again, I just want to thank you for your hard work.
All right, Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'd also like to extend my gratitude to the Humane Society and the team that works in the Humane Society, the volunteers in particular, because there's so much the Humane Society does for our community in helping to protect our friends, many families of whom consider them to be family members. But it's actually so much more than that. It's also about animal control, it's about adoptions, and it's about actually helping families and companies protect their livelihood, because in some cases this is livestock, and that family earns their living through the use of livestock. So you work in those areas as well. And to have a programmed process when we have emergencies that we understand well and we actually train with actually allows us to protect these assets, to protect our family members, but also do it in such a way that the other evacuations of humans and property and goods and things can also go on in an efficient way. So this is an integrated process, and I just want to thank the Humane Society for having been doing that in our community and for our community for so many years. You do a great job, and thank you very much. And I know that after we vote on this, if the vote is successful, we will be asking you to come down for a photograph, so don't go away. All right, thanks.
All right, and with that, I will call the roll. Oh, my goodness. You okay?
Yeah, I was trying to make the vote.
All right. Commissioner Bremer.
Aye.
Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
See, this is how important it was. I had to run back over here to get this vote. Aye.
All right, the chair votes aye. That passes unanimously. We will stand in a brief recess for pictures.